Steam curled around me, thick and heavy, wrapping my body in warmth as I sank deeper into the bath. The house was supposed to be empty. My daughter wouldn't be home until tomorrow. I had the night to myself. My eyes fluttered shut as I let myself unwind, my fingers lazily tracing the surface of the water, enjoying the sensation of warmth against my skin. It had been so long since it truly relaxed like this. I exhaled slowly, letting the tension melt away. Then the door swung open. A sharp inhale. Not many me snapped open. He stood there, tall, strong, frozen. His grip tightened around the towel, slung over his shoulder, his rising and falling as if he'd forgotten how to breathe. My daughter's boyfriend, Liam. His gaze flickered briefly, but enough for me to see. Its hawk giving way to something unreadable. Heat rushed to my face, my arms darting to cover myself, but it was too late. He had seen mesh. "Sorry," I hissed, voice cracked, his Adam's apple bobbing. Neither of us moved, a moment too long. Then he jerked away, breath sharp as he slammed the door shut behind him. I sat there, heart pounding in my ears, skin still flushed, but not just from the bath. He thought I wasn't home. It thought I was alone. But now we both knew exactly what the other had walked in, only should have been mortified. I should have screamed, covered myself something, but all I could think about was the look in his eyes before we get into it. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow tremendously, and I truly appreciate your support. Thank you. Now, let's continue. The second the door slammed, I exhaled sharply, pressing a hand to my cast. My pulse thundered beneath my fingertips. I needed to pull myself together. Grabbing a robe, I yanked it around me, but the fabric was thin, barely, reaching mid-thigh. The sash, the only thing keeping it closed. It wasn't the most modest choice, but I wasn't about to dig through my closet with my daughter's boyfriend. "Downstairs, Liam." I swallowed hard. By the time I reached the kitchen, they were already there, my daughter beaming. Liam sitting at the counter, one hand wrapped around a drink. He looked up the moment I walked in, and he stared. It lasted only a second before he dropped his gaze, shifting in his seat, his grip tightening around the glass. He wasn't supposed to be here. But then my daughter turned home. All smiles. "Mom, I hope it's okay. Liam's staying the night." I hesitated. His presence was already too much, already too close. But what could I say? I forced a smile. "Of course, make yourself at home." Liam lifted his glass slightly in acknowledgement, but his eyes flickered over me once more, just for a moment. Just enough to make my skin burn. I tightened my robe. This was going to be long. Night had fallen, and the house had settled into a heavy silence. After dinner, Mia and Liam had retreated to her room for the night, their laughter fading behind the closed door. I had lingered downstairs for a while sipping tea, trying to calm my nerves, trying to shake the way his eyes had lingered on me now. And in my bed, I stared at the ceiling, willing myself to sleep. Then I heard it soft at first, muffled a quiet shift of sheets, a hushed whisper, and then a sound that made my breath freeze in my chest, Amo. And I tensed for a moment. I told myself, was imagining it, that the house was playing tricks on me. But then it came again, faint but mistakable. I turned onto my side, heart-pounding fingers gripping the edge of the blanket. It shouldn't be hearing this. Another soft gasp slipped through the walls, followed by a hushed laugh. Oh God, my stomach twisted. I should get up, turn on the TV, put in headphones, drown it out. But I couldn't move because now the noises were clearer, rhythmic, breathless, unavoidable. My face burned as I lay there, stiff, unsure what to do with myself with this entire situation. This was wrong. I shouldn't be hearing this yet. No matter how hard I tried to block it out, one thought wormed its way in, one realization that made my pulse skip. Liam was good too, good, and I had no idea what to do with that knowledge. I pulled the covers up over my head as if that would erase what I just heard. But it wouldn't, because now I couldn't unhear it. And worse, I couldn't stop thinking about it. The house had gone quiet again. The sounds had stopped, leaving behind a suffocating silence. But sleep wouldn't come. I lay there staring at the ceiling. My mind refused to settle. No matter how much I tried to push it away, it lingered the way I had, frozen, trapped in the moment, unable to stop. Listening with a frustrated sigh, it threw back the covers and got out of bed. I needed something to clear my head, padding down the stairs. I made my way to the kitchen, the cool tile grounding me. I reached for a bottle of wine. I poured myself a glass, taking a slow sip, trying to shake the tension coiled in my chest. Then I felt a presence behind me. I turned, and there he was, Liam, standing in the dim light of the kitchen, shirtless, wearing nothing but his underwear, where he inhaled sharply, my fingers tightening around my glass. He leaned against the doorway, arms crossed over his bare chest, his body still warm from where he'd been. Moments ago his gaze dragged over Maslow, assessing. Then a smirk tugged at the corner of his mouth. Were we too loud? His voice was low, teasing. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Heat rushed to my face, embarrassment twisting in my stomach as Hook, my head taking another sip of wine, hoping he wouldn't see how my hands trembled. Liam did see, and he stepped closer. "It keep you up?" he asked, voices softer now, almost playful. I turned away, pretending to focus on my drink, but it was impossible to ignore the heat of his body, the way he carried himself, confident, relaxed, knowing exactly what it was doing. And then my ass flickered lower. A mistake, because there it was, bold, noticeable. My breath hitched. He nodded, and he didn't move. "A way I get it," I murmured, watching me closely. "It's a lot, isn't it?" I swallowed hard. "You should go back to bed. Head." His smirk deepened. "Are you sure that's what you want?" The space between us vanished. In an instant, Liam's fingers brushed over mine, slow, deliberate, as if waiting for me to stop him. I didn't. My breath caught as he guided my hand lower, pressing it against the undeniable shape of him, solid, hot, and mistakable. My fingers curled on instinct, my pulse roaring in my ears. His gaze never left, mine watching, waiting, daring me. "See what you do to me." He mimed. A shiver rippled down my spine. I should have pulled away, should have left instead. I let him untie the sash of my robe. The fabric slipped from my shoulders. Cool air meeting, heated skin pulling at my feet. Liam's breath hitched, his hands coming up to trace the newly exposed curves, his touch igniting, something deep, something dangerous. Then his lips were on my neck, soft at first, then firmer, bolder. A gasp escaped me, my hands gripping his arms as his mouth trailed lower. Kissing, teasing, tasting his fingers sank into my hips, drawing me closer, guiding me exactly where he wanted me. Then he went lower. A sharp breath left me as his lips found my chest, his teeth grazing skin, teasing, sending waves of sensation through me. My head tipped back, a quiet, shaky sound escaping my lips before I could stop it. Liam groaned softly, gripping my waist. Then, in one swift motion, he lifted me effortlessly, settling me onto the cool granite of the kitchen counter. A rush of nerves and excitement shot through me. They risked the thrill. We weren't alone in this house. At any moment we could caught. I barely had time to process before her pressed forward, his body against mine, his heat unmistakable, my legs wrapped around him on instinct, pulling him closer. "You're unbelievable," he murmured, voice thick with something between awe and hunger. Then he pressed forward, slow, deliberate, my lips parted on a shaky breath, fingers tightening in his hair, his shoulders, Liam, still at exhaling hard against my neck, as if he was trying to hold himself back. Then he moved a slow, deliberate rhythm. At first his hands steadying me, grounding me. My nails dug into his back as he buried himself deeper, his breath growing heavier, rougher. The tension mounted, the knee building between us, spiraling, climbing, until suddenly he pulled me off the counter, gripping my thighs tightly, lowering us both to the cool tile of the kitchen floor. Now I was on top. Liam Shantz gripped my waist, steadying me as I adjusted, tested his muscles, tensing beneath me for a moment. Neither of us moved. Then slowly I began to roll my hips, testing the movement, testing his control. A deep groan rumbled from his chest, his hands tightening onto me. His restraint was slipping. I set the pace, slow at first, watching the way his jaw clenched, the way his fingers twitched against my skin, as if resisting the urge to take over. I could feel him struggling for control, and that made me want to push him further. I leaned down, my lips hovering just over his teasing. His breath hitched, his hands sliding up my back, pulling me closer, trying to erase the space between us. The rhythm grew, urgent, a fire licking at my skin, pulling me higher until it shattered. I gasped his name, my body trembling against him, head falling forward onto his chest. Liam groaned, his grip tightening, his body following mine. Seconds later, his breath warm against my temple for a long moment. Neither of us moved. We lay there on the cold tile, our bodies tangled, hearts pounding in sync. Reality crept in the weight of what we'd just done, pressing into me. I should have felt guilt, shame, regret, but all I could think of about was how badly I wanted more. Some choices come with consequences, but in that moment it didn't feel like a choice at all. I knew it was wrong, but it felt too good to stop. What would you have done? Would you have walked away or let the moment take over? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow tremendously, and I truly appreciate your support. Thank you.